Hi everybody, I'm coming to you from a very wet and freezing cold Cape Town today. Just down here doing some Genesis stuff. But we're in the book of Philippians and we're in chapter 1 still. And one of the things that I think I love about God the most, and one of the things that sets him apart from human beings, is his ability to finish everything that he begins. In verse 6 of chapter 1, he says this. Paul says he's confident about a few things. Paul's always confident with God about something. But he says, I'm confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. Paul is confident that what God began in you by planting that seed of salvation that you have responded to, that in the conditions that God operates, God's going to finish this job. He always has. If you go back to creation, God didn't do a half job. He didn't need to do a half job and then let evolution finish it. God said at the end of every day, man, this is good. What I've done is really good. There's man, he's very good. There's woman, she's very good. Everything in God's eyes at the end of the day was very good. And the reason it was good was because it was complete. And you knew it was complete because it fulfilled its purpose. Now, nothing has changed. One of the things about human beings is we don't finish very well sometimes. If I go to my office and I open my drawer there, I see a whole bunch of half-finished sermons. On my table is a half-finished cup of coffee. I'm not famous for finishing stuff. I like starting stuff. But finishing is something that God does incredibly, incredibly well. When Paul, who wrote these words, finished his life, he said this, I have finished the race. I have completed it. I have done it. I've run the course. I've been through done the hard yards, and I now have finished the race of life. I really hope and pray that we could be a bit more like God in this regard, that which God has begun in us, we will participate so that this thing finishes really well. A lot of that is going to be in your hands. God uses you. He will never violate your will. He never forces you to do something that you don't want to do. Very seldom. There's only one or two events in Scripture where we find God really putting pressure on somebody to do something that he didn't really want to do. And God will always be there to finish what he has begun. Now, your Christian experience is exactly one of those things. Just celebrate along with me today the wonder of God finishing what he begins. That when we finish on the day of Jesus Christ, is what it says, that's the day that either Jesus comes back to this earth to take us away and finish this age of our lives down here, or that's the day when we leave this world and go into eternity through the veil of death. And I guess that when we finish, it's going to be really cool to stand before God and God to say, man, you look really cool. You have finished well the race that you have run. I have done my part, and you are completely finished and complete. Wouldn't it be great for us to be able to say that, or for God to be able to say that of us? Folks, the thing about it is, we get to compete in this finished product. We can either fight with God, or we can participate and cooperate with him. And when we cooperate with God, then all of a sudden this completion process becomes that much less painful and that much more glorious for God. So God is going to finish that work, come what may. He will finish that work. But it's a whole bunch easier if we will cooperate with him. Think about your life today. What are some of the areas that God is working at, and you're holding back, and you're saying you can't do this, you can't do that, or you don't want to do this, or you don't want to do that? Maybe we need to understand that God is going to finish this thing in you. And here's the hope, that even though you may not look that good right now, he's not finished with you yet, because we haven't come to that day of Jesus Christ yet. So let's revel in the wonder of God's promise to complete us, and let's participate with him in doing what we need to do in our part for that to happen well. God, have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye.